I got this, it's called the Magic Crochet Helper, and it's basically a tensioner, which is really handy. I think this would be great for beginners that struggle with tension, because you dial in your tension with this screw disc. Threading it isn't hard. There's pretty easy pictorial instructions on how to thread it. I would do it on camera, but honestly, I think it's probably easier for you to use the pictures to thread it. And then you just hold it in between your fingers. You know, I think typically crocheters hold a finger up, or they spread their fingers, or whatever, some way that could cause fatigue. And apart from the fatigue, sometimes it's just difficult to tension your yarn, especially when you're just beginning. And so this just serves to see. I'm a long-time crocheter, so I tend to want to hold that finger up. It's just natural, but you don't have to. You can just pinch your work with your first finger and your thumb, which is, you know, a departure from what I'm used to, but it actually works really well. And you just crochet as usual. Again, this would be really great for a beginner that struggles with tension, because it's consistent. And you can also do a magic loop with it, which is a great way to start, like your granny squares. I'm going to show you how to do that. To do a magic loop, magic circle, you work on the back in that groove. And so you take your tail after you run it through the tension disc, and you wrap it around like that. And then you go under the groove, and then you can pull your first stitch under, and then you pull up a loop and go through, and then you go under the groove again, pull up a loop, and go under. So you keep working in that groove for as many stitches as you need. Oop, gotta hold your tail pretty secure. For as many stitches as you need for your magic loop. Magic circle, just depends on what you call it. So let's do, I think I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 8. Six, 7, 8. And then what you do is you slide it off. And you have this tail. You pull your tail tight, and you join in the 2 stitches at the very beginning with a slip stitch. Make sure I've got my working yarn. Well, and then you have a magic circle that you can tighten down. And so it depends on your pattern, you know, how many stitches you need in your magic circle, but then you just work around. And you can obviously rethread this to just work your granny square or whatever pattern you're using with your magical crochet helper. Again, if you're a long-time crocheter, I think I could see this helping with hand fatigue. I think if you're a beginning crocheter, this would help with tensioning your stitches, which is difficult for any beginning crocheter. It's got a cool little groove here that helps you do a magic circle. Sometimes those can be tricky because they're fiddly when you're holding them with your fingertips trying to get into the stitches. This just is a tool to help you with that, and it works really well. I know I did a teeny tiny one, but it's enough to get started for your project, depending on what you're using, so depending on what you're making. Most amigurumi starts with a magic circle because you're usually doing, you know, round designs, you know, filling up arms and legs and heads and stuff, and doing a magic circle is an important trick, and it can be frustrating. So this little groove on the back does a great job of it. And again, it has pictorial instructions on how to do all of these things. And they're very clear and they're easy to understand. There's words underneath each picture that show you exactly how to do your magic circle and how to finish it off, where to put your, if you use stitch markers, where to put those. Stitch markers are very important, especially when you're doing amigurumi, because you need to count your stitches very carefully with amigurumi. So yeah, it's cool. I love little gadgets like this.